Hi, this is Joe again with another video. For a second, this video, I'm going to do back my regular movie reviews here for this thing. I did a video for my Big Six page, on my Facebook page. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing the Oscars. Now, I've done several Oscar videos before in the past, doing various movie reviews of Oscar-winning films, or at least ones that actually won the Oscar for Best Picture. Well, for this particular video, I'm going to be discussing like some of the worst Oscar-winning movies ever. And I don't think he did like a top 10 list previously, but let's go and review. Once again, since we were on Oscar weekend, do like a couple of brief ones. At least ones that I have seen, and of course, especially my top worst Oscar-winning film is like Platoon, because that movie was just terrible. It was well made because Oliver Stone directed the movie, and the movie was actually based on his own experiences of being in the Vietnam War. So you have a little personal story with him, but as a film itself, I think it's didn't do a damn thing for me. It was like all cursing, all sort of like the bad parts of the Vietnam War. I mean, Vietnam War was definitely not a good war at all. It's definitely one of the worst wars in not only American history but the world history. All wars are bad, but this one, all the political stuff that was involved with it, the soldiers being called baby killers when they came back home from Vietnam and all that type of thing. But I still consider that like being like the worst Oscar-winning film. Of course, many people pick like Crash, or more recent films like $1 Million Baby or Shakespeare in Love or Beautiful Mind. Because Beautiful Mind beat out the first Lord of the Rings movie, Fellowship of the Ring, which is, a lot of people consider that one to be the best one out of the three films. But the third film was the one that became the third film really to win 11 Oscars, but none of them were for acting. And I think that's been happening way too much, especially in recent years, where a movie wins an Oscar for Best Picture, and none of them were for acting. Especially movies that won 6, 7, 8, 9, or even as much as Titanic, Ben-Hur, Titanic, and Lord of the Rings won 11. One of the other worst movies that I didn't think that Lord of the Rings was that great of a film. I don't want to get blasted for it. It looks great visually. Right, I'm not saying technically it looks great on film, but as a story, I never read the books, so I can't compare the books to the movies. But I remember the cartoon shows, the animated films. I thought, oh, those were kind of interesting, but I thought it was kind of boring to me. So when the live action films came out, everyone was raving about them, and so I saw it, and there were all these Oscars for the technical stuff. So I figured, oh, let me see this. And like I just said, it looks good technically, but didn't do anything for me. Another film that won the Oscar for Best Picture that wasn't, it was good, but then great, and it was Gigi, which was the Oscar-winning film for 1958. And that movie is basically about that Leslie Caron was being trained by her aunt and her grandmother to be a mistress for the playboy in town. It was played by Louis Jourdan. And that's basically what the movie is. I mean, it has some great musical numbers in it, because it is a musical. It was based on an actual Broadway play. But when Gigi was on Broadway, it was not a musical. When they made it into a film, then it became a musical, or a movie musical. And the music, of course, is terrific. It was from the same team that wrote the music for My Fair Lady, which of course also won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1964. But My Fair Lady was more for a better picture than Gigi is. It's almost the same type of a plot, or a similar plot, but making a woman into a little girl into a woman, pretty much. That's what Gigi was, and I mean, it was good. I mean, it also looks good. The music was terrific. The characters were alright, to me. But in terms of what the plot was, of course, you have a problem with a girl being trained to be a rich guy's mistress, or I don't want to say sex slave, because that's 50 Shades of Grey territory there. But that's what Gigi was. Another movie that's okay but not great is won the Oscar for Best Picture. And of course, I should also mention, I mentioned in the previous video, Oscar's Biggest Screwjobs video, that there's no way that Gandhi, I'm probably going to see Gandhi this weekend, and maybe do a review on next week, or after the Oscars, but there's no way that the Gandhi show beat out E.T. To me personally, I don't know why I'm repeating this video, but there are several other movies that the movies that surprised me that actually won. Found out that won. Gigi was one of them. The other one was In the Heat of the Night, the movie from 1967, because it beat out The Graduate. Of course, the movies that surprised me that won was not that Gigi won, Heat of the Night won, but there were certain movies that I felt that should have won the Oscar and didn't. One of them was, of course, The Ten Commandments. It tells the story of Moses. But nowadays, people make fun of it because of the dialogue. Especially there's one scene where M. Baxter, who played Nefertiti, says to Moses, who was played by Charlton Heston, says, "Oh, Moses, Moses, you stubborn, splendid, adorable fool." Which TV guy quotes, when they have the actual original TV guys, he used to quote that line because the thing is all campy. But that movie the movie that won that year was Around the World in 80 Days. Not only did it beat out The Ten Commandments, but it also beat out Giant, which turned out to be James Dean's last movie role. I have Giant. I've done a review on Giant, but the problem with Giant, that was boring. It was just boring. At least The Ten Commandments was fun to watch, because the special effects was fun, great performances by all the actors. But in terms of movies, I think those are definitely. And I'm not seeing every single Oscar-winning film. But one of the worst Oscar-winning films I should mention is like Slumdog Millionaire. I watched that movie and like, this one? I mean, Slumdog Millionaire, and I watched the movie and I did a review on it recently, and I'm like, how in the hell did this movie win for Best Picture? I mean, that story was like all over the place. And if you want to see the full review of that, just watch that video that I did. That movie was like, I'm like, seriously? That's one of the most recent Oscar-winning films, at least the most recent ones, and that's 10 to 15 years. Majority of them have been awful. Really have been terrible. And like, how in the hell did some of these movies actually win? That's what I want to know. Like Shakespeare in Love, or the movie that was made fun of on Seinfeld, which was The English Patient, and the famous episode with Elaine couldn't stand the movie. So I think they wonder how in the world are these movies, even win. It's one thing that they were nominated, but another thing, how in the hell these movies can even win anything? Because the storyline is so bad. It's so bad, they're like, in films. Not only that one, but what movies they beat out. Of course, one of the worst movies that won was, of course, Forrest Gump. Because a lot of people now, I mean, at the time, people were like, wow, it's great, this movie won and all that stuff. But now, in the 24 years since Forrest Gump came out, there's a lot of people that grew up and realized, hey, Pulp Fiction was better than this movie. I'm not a big Quentin Tarantino fan. I think all of his movies are pretty much the same. Because Forrest Gump was like the safe bet to get the Oscar to, compared to an over-the-top violent movie, which Pulp Fiction was. So they were not going to give a movie to a movie like an Oscar to a movie like that. I'm saying a fact, and to give it to Forrest Gump, which is like, at that time, anybody who plays somebody with a mental disability or physical disability always won the Oscar for acting, which Tom Hanks did for playing Forrest Gump. And of course, stories like that always get the top awards. If it's a movie, with the Oscars or the Golden Globes, or if it's a television show, they get the Emmy Awards. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. And now it's not happening as much anymore. Because those movies are such a cliche. They say, okay, all you have to do is play someone with a disability and you get an Oscar. Like Al Pacino, he never won an Oscar for being in the first two Godfather films, but he gets an Oscar for playing a brilliant blind guy, Colonel and Sensible Woman. And I actually like Sensible Woman, but and so check out my review on that. But the Godfather films are not shown on TCM. For some reason, not shown on TCM during the Oscar week. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with TCM. They always have some type of crazy theme when it comes to they do like the 31 Days of Oscar. One thing they should do is show every single Oscar-winning movie. They should do it. And do a marathon from day one. When they do the 31 Days of Oscar, from day 1 to day 31, show every single Oscar-winning film in the order in which they came out. I think if we really want to do a 31 Days of Oscar, do that. I know they would do other things like movies that were nominated, or movies that won for Oscar for Best Actress, or Best Actor, or Best Cinematography, or Best Director. But why are you going to do one that won for Best Picture? Every single Best Picture winner. So that we could see all those movies. All those Oscar-winning films. I mean, we should. So that's my review of what I consider the worst Oscar-winning films. Please click on the video, please rate it, feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel about rowdyc.com, it's RWDY.com. There's a homepage to Rowdy Reviewer, Christy Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, catch you next time.